Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? The presentation is about to begin. Honorable panels, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this presentation. I'm Ganesh Kumar, son of SIGAMANI, as a moderator for this forum. In this session, we would like to have a presentation on vaccination for elderly. Before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce the panels. This is Mr. SYAREZUL bin MARZUKI from Kedah. He is one of student of UMK from SCB department. He is the panel one of this forum. Next, this is Mr. Muhammad Aiman Azim bin Abdul Aziz from Perak, student of UMK from SCB department also. Lastly, Mr. Muhammad FIRDAUS bin AZMI from Kedah. He is also student of UMK from SCB department. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the presenter to deliver the presentation. All right, Mr. Shazrul bin Marzuki, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you to moderator to give me a chance to explain about vaccine. Personally for me, I accept the vaccination for the elderly because it can control the transmission of COVID-19 from spreading. As we all know, Malaysia has been hit by a massive COVID-19 outbreak. To curb this growing symptom, drastic measures such as adoption of COVID-19 vaccine are strongly encouraged, especially in the elderly. The elderly must be vaccinated to prevent them from being exposed to the epidemic. When the elderly receive the COVID-19 vaccine, they will be less at risk of COVID-19 infection and can save their life. Alright, my second point is uh, to able increase the body immunity. The epidemic is so dangerous that it can claim about 200 lives per day. So the intake of COVID-19 vaccine can protect the elderly from the symptom of COVID-19 epidemic transmission because the virus from the vaccine can prevent COVID-19 virus. Although the elderly was affected with COVID-19 after vaccination, the effect were less serious than those who was not vaccinated. My last point about the COVID-19 for the vaccine for the elderly is to protect the elderly from COVID-19 outbreak. Vaccine in the body of the elderly can protect and defend the elderly from COVID-19 transmission. Among them, there is evidence that COVID-19 vaccination can make a disease less serious if the individual has been vaccinated. The risk of infection, hospitalization, and death was significantly lower for those who had been vaccinated than for those who had no vaccine. Uh, this suggests that those who are not vaccinated may be more be risk of serious illness than those who have been given complete immunization as well as vaccination, not only protecting the elderly but protecting our closest individuals such as family members who do not have strong immune defense. The elderly choose low immune level among those who need to be protected from getting COVID-19 infection. That's all from me. If anything is wrong was and mistake, I apologize for my mistake. Thank you, and I will continue with the moderator to continue this discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Sharasol, for your explanation. You strongly agree that vaccination is good for the elderly, that able to control the transmission of COVID-19 from spreading. Let's move to Mr. Muhammad Aiman Azim bin Abdul Aziz. What is your opinion, Aiman?
Thank you to moderator. For my opinion, I'm disagree with a vaccine for the elderly. I'm disagree not because I'm an anti-vax, but it's just for something like people don't should take it like pregnancy women. So I have my own point. My first point is not suitable for elderly. Study has found that after taking this vaccine for older people, the higher case of death due to vaccines. For example, chronic disease get worse after taking the vaccine. This makes the vaccine dangerous for the elderly. For my second point is this vaccine is still on research. There is no longer a proper vaccine capable of fighting the virus 19 COVID-19. Even after taking the vaccine, some can still be infected by the effect are not as severe as people who do not take the vaccine. For older people to take the vaccine, which is still in this study, is highly not recommended because it can cause a virus disease in their body to mutate and become more dangerous because of the vaccine itself. Moreover, now there are booster that is the third dose with several effect, which is the dangerous effect while taking the third dose. My third point is can damage the immune system. For older people, their immune system are not as strong as they used to be, causing them to have a severe fever and can lead to death. This vaccine has a property where it can adapt in the human body and will fight unknown viruses. This causes the body of the older group is unable to withstand the effects. That's all from me. We pass to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Ayman Azim. That was a great point to be said. From your explanation, you disagree that vaccination is not good for the elderly because it can defect immune system in body. To carry the forum, let's move to Mr. Muhammad Firdaus with AZMI. What is your opinion, Mr. Muhammad Firdaus?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Give me a chance for thought. I just agree because the vaccination is required for the elderly. They are at risk of contracting dangerous disease due to weakened antibody defense. When you get immunized, you are not only protecting yourself, but also helping to protect the whole community. Because herd immunity or community immunity means there are enough people immune in the community to slow or stop the spread of disease. If enough people in the community get immune against M disease, the infection can no longer spread from person to person. The disease can die out altogether. Herd immunity helps protect people who are more at risk of getting the disease. They include people who are too young or too sick to get vaccine. We need high immunization rates at about 95% to achieve herd immunity for many infectious diseases. My second point is the elderly are more likely to have chronic disease such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. They should be the first to be vaccinated. People of any age can catch COVID-19, but it's most commonly affected middle-aged and other adults. Their risk of developing disease symptoms increase with age, with those who are aged 85 and older are the highest risk of serious symptoms. In the US, about 81% of deaths from the disease have been in people aged 65 and older. Risks are even higher for older people when they have other health conditions. Take all your medication and prescription. Consider developing a care plan that includes information about medical conditions medications, provide names and emergency contact. Nursing home residents are at high risk because they often have multiple health problems combined with advanced age, and germs can spread very easily between people who live near each other. If you live in a nursing home, follow the guidelines to prevent infection. Ask about protection. Make sure for residents of visitor recreations that staff know if you feel. My final point, vaccine will improve their body functions as a result of age-related factors that make them susceptible to disease such as the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, which is currently ravaging the world. We are still learning about COVID-19 vaccine. Continue to review evidence and update guidelines as more information is learned. We do not know how long protection lasts for those who are vaccinated, but we do not know the COVID-19 has caused very serious illness and death for a lot of people. If you get vaccinated, you also risk giving it to loved one who may get very sick. Getting a COVID-19 vaccine is a safer choice. People who have a condition or are taking medication that weaken their immune system may not be completely protected even if they are fully vaccination. They should continue to take all prevention recommended for anti-vaccine people, including wearing a well-fit mask advised otherwise by their healthcare provider. That's all for me. Thank you.
Wow, it's a good explanation from Mr. Muhammad. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. So there are two agreement and two disagreement to vaccination for the elderly. In my suggestion, I also agree completely that vaccination for the elderly is good because it's protect immune system and increase antibody of elderly. Again, I would like to thank you to all three panels for the informative and interesting talk. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to question and answer session. Do we have any question?
I don't have any question.
If no question, let me ask a question to Mr. Muhammad Aiman Azim. Mr. Muhammad Aiman Azim, if
Yes.
government announced that elderly people strictly must be take vaccine, what you will do?
Um, just like I say, I'm not an anti-vax. I'm also take a vaccine because it's for my own protection. The point is why I'm disagree because some people that shouldn't take the vaccine, like a pregnant woman, can infect their baby. But I'm still stand with SYAREZUL and FIRDAUS. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad Azim. My second question to Mr. Sharazul. Mr. Sharazul, what are the steps that we should to follow even we get full vaccination?
All right, thank you to moderator for the question. Uh, to answer that question from moderator, even you have already received a complete injection of COVID-19 vaccine, does not mean you can ignore all the SOP we already have. You still need to be careful to reduce the infection to yourself as well as other. In crowd areas, it's a very easy for you get an infection unnoticed even you do not have a symptom. Continue to wear your face mask when in public on open area. In addition, always wash your hand with a soap and hand sanitizer. Reduce activity outside the house if you do not have any important business. Remember, you may not be affected when the COVID-19 virus, but your family, your member are still at risk to get a COVID-19 virus. That's all from me. Thank you.
Wow, it's perfect answer to my question. Thank you, Mr. SYAREZUL. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to the end part of our presentation. I would like to express my gratitude to our panels again for the informative and interesting talk, and also to the audience for active participation. Hopefully the presentation will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you for your attention.